I'm William Hall. Welcome to the ASUN Gameday podcast. A little bit of a different edition of the podcast this week. Obviously, you see we've got an empty chair here and a microphone because we've got a guest. We were lucky enough to have Tony Pujol, head coach of UNA men's basketball, drop in to be our special guest. So, going to take a quick break and we'll jump right into my conversation with Coach Pujol. William Hall, here with North Alabama men's basketball head coach Tony Pujol. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thankful to be here in Jacksonville.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously got family here, so get to spend time with my mom, my brother, my nephews. Just a good, just great to be here.
Let's start there. How often do you get an opportunity in the season to catch up? Is it just when you're down here in Florida? Or?
Yeah. And during the season, it's real tough. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you know that. And constant every game, every weekend, you're playing Thursday, Saturday. So you have some FaceTime conversations sometimes with family, but as far as face to face, this time, and so I'm very thankful for the ASUN to have us play all 4 Florida schools.
Yeah.
in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So we never left the state. We played down at Florida Gulf Coast and then Stetson, and then ended up staying here. Got to spend the majority of the time in Jacksonville. Mm-hmm. So got to see family. Got to have the guys prepare for this upcoming weekend.
What's the unique challenge of an extended road trip like that?
Yeah, I think like anything else, it's not normal, right? So, guys not sleeping in their same bed or when we're at home, right?
Yeah.
And even when we're on the road for 2 games, we'll be back that Sunday. So I think it's just the challenge is just it's unfamiliar. Mm-hmm. But I think the positive is the wear and tear. You don't have to now go back to an airport, travel on Sunday, go back home, and I don't know if you knew this, but right when we got to Florida Gulf Coast, I mean, we got like 8 inches of snow in Florence. Yeah. And if you don't know anything about snow in Florence, when it happens, it shuts down the entire city.
Right.
We're not equipped to deal with stuff like that, so. It shut us down, and for travel purposes, we were already in the state. So, but this decision was made back in September because we felt that it was the best for our student athletes. Mm-hmm. We felt from a traveling standpoint, it wouldn't be that much of a grind. Just have them stay here in the state and just take our time, right? So, that's the decision we made back in September. Gotcha. when the schedule came out.
Yeah. So. Speaking of, you're obviously on the road trip, but speaking of you all playing in Florence, you've turned into a team that nobody wants to come into the building and play. You just 7-1 this year at home. What goes into that mentality when you're talking to the team about getting up for that home game in front of that home crowd? I know that's got to pump you up, but just the environment.
My job is obviously to give information to our players about what's at stake, right? Like what. And one of the things that we stress is, you're going to gain energy from the people that are coming to watch you, right? The support that you're getting, and I'll tell you right now, the team is very thankful for our community, the student athletes in our university, the students in our university, for the unwavering support that they've gotten over the years. Mm-hmm. Playing at home should motivate you because you've got a lot of people there that are supporting you, right? The other part is, we have to do a really good job of preparing our guys for the teams that we're about to play, right? And that's the thing about this league, right? That this league just creates so many challenges with so many different styles of play from so many programs, right? Like our first week, we're playing Bellarmine and Eastern Kentucky. Like you can't, there's no more contrasting styles than those two. And I think every team in our league understands those challenges. So that quick turnaround, right? That quick turnaround to be prepared. But, we've been fortunate, man. The energy in our building just really, truly motivates our players. It motivates our staff to a different level. And we're very thankful for that.
Yeah. Looking at this team this year, obviously, you got 11 wins, good start, 3-1 in conference play. So you're looking like a team that's going to, be in the upper echelon of our conference this year. Semifinal appearance last year. But talk to me about the veteran leadership that you have on your team. I mean, we know about the scoring you get, the impact of Jakari Lane, but that upper class, that I think that senior leadership helps drive a team like North Alabama.
No, 100%. And I think at our level, I've been saying this for a while now. And I think our staff understands it and the value of it. But whenever you can keep at our level a core group of guys that understand the culture, that understand the expectations, that understand what is needed day in and day out, right? When you can keep a core group of guys, I think that's a pretty competitive advantage, right? Rather than the opposite, right? Which is you're bringing in new guys every year, right? Like I think that's the challenge that you have, is to just continue to bring back the guys that have helped you had success. Mm-hmm. And you look at our team right now. Jakari Lane's doing what he does, right? Like that's him. He's been doing that since his freshman year. His game is continuing to evolve. It's growing. It's still not where he wants it to be. It's still not where I can tell you right now he's his biggest critic. Mm-hmm. But he's continuing to evolve. But it's guys like Will Susi, right? It's guys like Dallas Howell, who has a year-ending injury, but is still around. He's with us on this trip. He's constantly in the ears of the players. These are guys that understand everything about what we do. And whenever you have guys like that, it makes guys like Tay Fields' job a lot easier. It makes guys like Cornelius Williams' job a lot easier. All these newcomers now, they get sped up in what we're all about because you got guys like that in your program.
Yep. It's definitely, you can see it. This team has been exciting to watch. Going back to where we are right now, so the Florida road trip, 1-1 in South Florida against Stetson. You talked earlier about the challenges of like Bellarmine and EKU, different styles back to back. Looking at Jacksonville, North Florida,
same thing.
What do you see when you're looking at that matchup that can be challenging when you're going from one to the other, the very contrasting styles of opponents you're about to face?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, you're looking at. We'll start with Jacksonville, right? Because it's the first game we're going to play, and ever since Coach Mincy has been at Jacksonville, look at his teams. His teams are going to always be tough. They're always going to play hard. They're going to be well coached. They know that he knows exactly what he wants in his program, what it needs to look like, and he's completely bought into that. Mm-hmm. And not only is he completely bought into it, but he gets his players to buy into it as well. And that, to me, is the sign of a coach that really understands what the heck he's doing, right? Whenever you have people buying into your vision. And that's what we are, right, as coaches. Is we're here to have guys understand the vision of the program and how we want to execute when we're out there. And there's no better sign of that than watching his teams play. They play hard. They're going to defend you. They're going to be relentless at on the defensive end of the floor. But then, from an offensive standpoint, you got a dynamic player like McCray on your team that can just go get one at any time, right? Explosive, just an elite athlete, elite player. And then he's got surrounding pieces around him that just fit what they're about. Yeah. So to me, you got that challenge, right? You got a challenge like that where you play this physical game, you play this game where you've got a lot of athletes on the floor. And then you got to turn around, okay, and I hope I'm not getting ahead of myself here, but you got to now turn around and play a Matt Driscoll team who, you better understand that if you do not defend the 3-point line, if you're not alert, they will rain them on you. And the next thing you know, you're down 20 and you didn't even notice it. It's just two different styles, and it just goes to show you that there is a million ways to skin a cat, right? Yeah. Because both those teams have had success in their style of plays.
Yeah, they do, and I think that raises the level of excitement in conference play and in the ASUN right now. I mean, it's it's as good as I think that it's been. I mean, you just look around. What North Alabama is getting done, the wins that UNF was putting together. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you've got Lipscomb, Queens is just going, and you've been around several years here. Yeah. Where do you see the conference if you just take a look around the ASUN right now?
Personally, here's what I've said ever since I've been in here, since 2018. It is definitely an underrated conference. No question about it. And a lot of that has to do with the players in the league. Just look at the ones that have left and have had success at their next stop. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's plenty of talent on the court. But another area that this league shares is the coaches in our league, man. Like, they're really, really good. You want to talk about some guys that have won at a high level, like you've mentioned teams already. You can Acuff at Lipscomb. You got Driscoll, who's been doing it seems like forever in North Florida, right? Yeah. Then you got guys like, like you mentioned, Queens off to a great start. Mm-hmm. The way that they've done it. I mean, that's a good core of players, but man, their staff and their head coach is A+. Yeah. So. I just think a combination of those players and coaches in our league, man, that's what makes this league so unique. Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm not saying that other leagues aren't good. All I'm saying is it's a unique league because of the different contrasts of styles of play, man.
Across the board. Yeah. It is. I mean, every we get 2 days, and it's exciting just to see where it goes. Yeah. So obviously the level of competition is there. You're in the mix. I'll say it. I'm looking at North Alabama as being a really dangerous team. Exciting to watch. Can't wait to see where you take this team this year, Coach. Obviously, congratulations on the start to the season.
Yep.
Locked in, watching UNA. So.
Yeah. Well, like anything else, it's early, right?
It is early.
It's early. But, our guys right now, I'm really pleased where we're at. Mm-hmm. We still got work to do. And like we say all the time, it's about playing one weekend at a time, right? Yeah. Because that's the way you got to do it. You can't do it any other way. So, we're locked into this game that's coming up because we know the challenges that it presents, mm-hmm. and we got to be ready. And I say this about every team in our league, and every team knows it. You better be ready. And be ready to play every weekend, home and away, because any team in this league will get you if you're not ready to play.
Absolutely, Absolutely. Well, good luck the rest of the day. Yeah. Thank you for taking time to stop by and talk to us, Coach.
Come on, William. Anytime I'm around here, man, you and I get together. It's always a good time.
Always good. Well, appreciate it, Coach. Thank you.
Always.
Once again, I want to thank you to Coach Pujol for stopping in, talking to us about everything UNA men's basketball this season. Obviously, we've been locked in. Patrick's a big fan. We are huge fans of North Alabama. So stay tuned to all the men's and women's ASUN basketball action this week. And we'll be back next week with a full edition of the ASUN Game Day podcast. I'm William Hall, signing off.